I'm here with my skull collection. Some of you have been in the classroom before with me.
I've been in
Yeah, and some of you have drawn these a few times, right?
Yeah.
And in the past, I
3
just
times
let you
in a row.
guys do whatever you wanted. Today, we're going to try something a little different. I'm going to give you a small amount of instructions, not too many. The first instruction is that I want you to look at the whole shape when you're drawing this. Now, if you're sitting down, you're going to see it like this. If I'm holding it like this, it's going to look different, right? So what I'm going to do is hold it like this for you guys to get an idea of what I'm talking about as far as the outside shape goes. This is the outside shape. Follow my finger. Goes like this, doesn't it? Goes in like that and like that. That's the outside shape. If I put my hand here and I traced around it, you would know it's a hand in a second. Similar will happen. People will be able to understand what it is instantly if you draw the outside shape and you put it in a position they're going to be used to seeing it at. If you draw it like this, it's not going to be as easy to recognize, is it? But everyone knows what that is when you see it like that, right? So my idea was to try to show you how to see before you actually start drawing, okay? Because the most important thing about drawing, and some people say, oh, I can't draw anything but a stick figure. It's probably because they just don't know some of the easy rules. And what is it? It's seeing. You got to be able to see. Then, when you're seeing, you got to know where your pencil's out on the paper and say, okay, I'm looking at the top of the horn. I'm going to draw this part of it. I'm looking at the back of the head. I'm going to draw that part of it. And you're talking to yourself, sort of, right? You're telling yourself so that you know where you're at all times on the paper. For the outside shape, that's huge. That's important. Some people do it without even looking at the paper. They study the thing and they do a blind contour drawing, which is, I'm going to show you a couple of tricks, okay? So first, what shape is this when I draw like that?
Triangle!
Exactly, right? So the first thing I'm going to
It's a
do
weird looking triangle.
is a super light triangle. It's very light because I want to be able to erase it. I don't want to see all those lines. And if I'm looking at this, I'm going to start on the top here. I'm going to go like, I'm going to look at the curve, and I'm going to come over and see that curve. Then I'm going to make a measurement and see, is this the same as that? It pretty much is, right? Look at that.
Yeah.
When I go like that, it's about the same. So that means that this curve, so that's about the same, isn't it?
He's gonna move this.
So that's an exaggerated top right there. That's all I've drawn, right? I'm not worried about the detail. I'm not worried about all the beautiful cracks or any of that stuff or the eye sockets. Just want to try to get an idea of the outside shape. So now that I've done that, I will real quickly start to shape in a little bit of what's going on. And then this, if I just two straight lines, that's where these two eye sockets line up, sort of right where that horn is, right? So if that's the case, that means I got to come straight down. And that gives me an idea of where the outside edge of the socket is. And you see right now it's just a bunch of lines. It doesn't look like anything, and that's okay, because this is just a sketch. Underneath, this part of the eye socket is in front, right? And then here is where the other part of the eye socket, this underside is, right? So just to do a quick indication of that, I just want to put a little line like that and then let it go. Come back down, and then I'll bring this around. Now the bottom of this eye socket, it's a little bit past this point. So see how the point's here? I brought it just a little bit below, just didn't I? So that's about the bottom of the eye socket. So what I'm going to do now is try to finish the outside shape as fast as I can because I want you guys to draw. Anyway, so now we start to see that I've got a recognizable shape. If I want longer horns, you know, later on artistic license, you guys can do whatever you want. But for this particular assignment, I'm trying to draw these as a still life, which means to draw what's really there. You know, so if it's a chipped up edge, and then it comes back, I might do that, right? Showing the chipped edge there.
Oh my
This
God.
one
That is
here
so cool.
starts to go like that.
I know.
And that curves. Now, what am I doing? I'm actually getting harder lines, aren't I? starting to see that I really like that curve. I'm going to leave that there. I like that curve. But if I don't like that, I can erase it, can I? See these lines that I was using to show me where things are? Now I can, what's it doing? It's starting to make it look shady, isn't it? Right? So, what's next, you guys? After the outside shape, I said we get to do what?
Draw the inside detail.
Detail, you guys. I see a lot of detail. I see the detail of the edge where the horn meets the top of the skull. I see holes. I see cracks. I see insides of the nasal area. I see the sockets. So I'm going to start by doing the eye sockets because they have a nice, really cool shape to them. They come straight down like that.
Where does it get that?
Then they go like this, come around, and then they go back down. So I'm going to start by dividing up this inside shape because it's a lot going on. So far what I've got is just this sort of long trough, right? Very rectangular. So, the first thing I want to do is look at this line down the center, just like I looked at that line there. They're going to be in line with each other. I'm going to then divide that circle. I'm going to get one. And that circle, if I look straight across, is right below this eye socket. So I've already started it too high. Look at it, I'm going to erase that. So that circle is below tails going. I might do a thicker line on this outside here, a harder line, so that these lines can sit back there a little bit, right?
Oh my god, that
And
looks
if I
like
want
a
to shade it, I can later on. When I get a
When
lot of the drawing done, I might have you guys do something like that just to set it back there. And you see what happens when I smear it a little bit? All of a sudden, this is sitting in front of that, right? But we'll get into shading later. Let's just keep going. So how many of you guys think you could do what I just did?
Probably not.
Huh?
Probably not so good, but I'll try. I'll try. Yeah. I'll try.
Well,
I could do it, but not as good as you. Yeah.
one of the things I don't really care about is if you think it looks perfect or not. Art is subjective. You can have any kind of style you want. Now, when we're doing still life, the object is to make it look like what is there.